What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our live Pittsburgh Steelers post-game show as the Pittsburgh Steelers win, and we do have a guest. Let's bring them on. And hold on. There we are. What is up, Sean? Welcome back to the show.
What's up, Mike Drop Sports? Hey, Jason, thanks for having me.
Hey, man, good to have you. We're back. We're ready to roll. Everybody make sure you put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat as we will be diving in to a big Pittsburgh Steelers win. What a nail-biter, Sean. What a nail-biter.
My God, I'm still trying to get my heart rate down. I was flipping out. I was praying to Jesus. Oh, my God, I was so worked up.
We already got our first What's Up, JD. Extra Black already comes in here, Sean, too. Broderick Jones is awful. He must be replaced ASAP. What do you think of Broderick Jones's performance? Let's get that out of the way here now. I found it to be lackluster. Extra Black says he got to be replaced, but I just don't think you have anybody to replace him. But what was your initial thoughts here, week one from Broderick Jones after watching that matchup?
That's funny you say that, Extra Black, because I was texting Jason during the game saying Broderick Jones might just be a bust. I'm done with this. He's got to step it up, and I'm with you, bro. We got to bring in new talent. He's not the one.
Man, 2 sacks that I know of that I was just off the top of my head that he had led up, Sean. Missed blocks, missed assignments. His feet looked slow. His strength looked lackluster. But I got to say this. I think the biggest thing for Broderick Jones today was what has been missing from his game since the get-go. And that is lack of technique, the skills, the technique that every lineman has to have at this level. You know, it's just lacking. It's just missing, and I don't understand what is going on there. But I felt athletically, yes, he's a gifted guy. But do you think he's going to be able to get this together, or do you think he is a bust? Or is this just week one smack talk that we're just all a little bit fired up because we saw that performance? Or are you really ready to be done and wash your hands with Broderick Jones?
I mean, I think it's a little late to, get any new talent in now, so we're going to have to ride this out this season. But I don't think that he's the right guy for the position. He's had plenty of time to get his game together. It's been a few years now, and he's still the weak link on that offensive line, and something needs to change.
Yeah, Broderick Jones definitely is going to be a topic of conversation here, guys, for the weeks coming as we move through this season. Hopefully the technique gets better. Hopefully it was week one jitters. But however, the Pittsburgh Steelers get the W in a sneaky nail-biter type fashion. So we'll take the win as the Pittsburgh Steelers improve to 1-0 on the season and beat the Jets up in New Jersey. Let's keep going and catch up in the chat a little bit. My Floyd is Pink 79. That's why we traded for Ramsey, number 5. Here we go, Jason. Absolutely, man. That was a big hit, Sean, at the end of the game, dude.
Oh, my God. I was just thinking of that. That was amazing. Like, that's why we went out and got him. And you know what? I knew they poked the bear before they went into that to the locker room before the halftime, man. Like, that right there fired up Ramsey. And I was like, this guy's going to go out there with a chip on his shoulder. And sure enough, big hit. My favorite play of the game was that hit.
He had a couple big plays there toward the end of the game, especially on that final drive. I mean, he was playing lights out, flying around, speed, athleticism, playing super physical, and that's exactly what we've been missing on the back end of that Steelers defense. One sour note on the back end of that Steelers defense, DeShon Elliott out with a knee injury. We don't know the extent of that yet. We'll have to hear what Mike Tomlin's comments are this week coming. Also, Joey Porter Jr. did not finish the game. But how did you like the way that secondary responded late in the game? I know they had their problems, their issues, but do you think that they were able to get things together there and step up? And did you like the way they performed, at least on that final drive?
Somehow, some way, the defense came together and started playing like an actual unit. They were stuffing the run, they were getting pressure on Justin Fields, and they were making good plays in the backfield. I don't know what adjustment was made or what was said, but yeah, they stepped up and they played solid regardless of who went out and was injured. So I'm very impressed with that, but I am also concerned about how much yardage they gave on for the run game. They had a very hard time today stopping the run, and that's very concerning.
Absolutely, dude. And that was something that plagued the Steelers all last season, especially late, Sean, was the lack of the ability to stick it in the run game and to get that to be slowed down. But the injury to Derek Harmon, I think that hurts. I felt like Y.A. Black, those guys, they played okay at times, but they just weren't getting that initial push and that initial jolt on that offensive line. And that was the problem, because I felt like the Jets were definitely open for business, considering they had some injuries to key players, Vera Tucker. So, yeah, I thought the Steelers could have took advantage of that. But, again, it's week one, Sean. Do you chalk some of this up to it's week one? People are just getting to play together, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these starters haven't seen very much play time at all. They went all preseason with hardly seeing the field, and this is what happens when you do that. You're going to go out week one, and you're going to have the jitters, and you're not going to be firing on all cylinders. And I hope that they can continue with the way they ended this game, rolling, stopping the run, putting pressure on the quarterback, and the offense putting up big points.
Amen. And another Wombat says they got insanely lucky, and I think I walked away from this game with a ton of concerns. Absolutely. I have concerns too, but I think everybody's going to have some concerns for their football team after week one, no doubt about it. But like Sean said, hey, they were getting it together there toward the end. And Sean, when you haven't seen a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers throw 4 touchdown passes since January 10th, of 2021, when Big Ben Roethlisberger did it, I believe it might have been against Cleveland in that final year or second to last year, whatever. But you haven't seen that happen in a long time. Aaron Rodgers throws 4 touchdown passes. The Steelers put up over 30 points. And let's just be honest, the Steelers defense isn't going to get gashed like that every single week. I don't think that to be true. But maybe that does happen. But overall, Sean, I like the way this football team battled, and it showed me something. Yes, there are concerns, but they battled. They fought. They never quit. They were down some points there, at certain stages throughout this game, but they kept coming back. What did you think about the fight of this football team and the resilience? And they just wouldn't go away.
They showed me that they're willing to go out there and scrap up against any team, because you know what? We gotta give the Jets credit. That defensive line is no joke in New York. They are one of the best out there. And for them to go out there and put up a fight that whole game, that just tells me we have a great team this year, because the Jets are no slouch at all. I'm super excited for this year. I think that we can compete with anybody.
Amen, man. What'd you think? Let's get this out of the way before we recap the game in its totality. But, Sean, that's 61 yards smack by the Boz. My son, my 10-year-old son, was like, he's going to make it, Dad. I said, buddy, it's 61 yards. There ain't no way. He's not going to make that shit. And I actually just walked to the kitchen and started walking back because I was, like, fired up and pissed. But, man, what a smack by the Boz.
Man, he's the best in the league. We got the best kicker in the league as far as I'm concerned. He does so good under pressure, and he nailed that thing with plenty more. Like, he can hit a 70-yarder.
Easy. He might have made it from 68, 70, no doubt. I agree. That had some leg, brother. Wow. I could not believe that. The way that game ended, though, was very fitting. Steve Winters, what's up? A.K. Davis, what's up? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Deet, Challenger 22. JD, Extra Black, all in the chat. We're going to get to you. Steve Winters says, I think the line will get better as the season goes. My concern is, what about that run defense? Again, Sean, I think a lot of this will get better. And I'm not going to crucify the Steelers here early in the season, because it is early in the season. This is a long, long year. And I know fans are impatient and they want to see a finished product instantly. But I am a firm believer in this. You will develop and grow throughout the year. And you have to be willing to allow that process to happen. Do you think fans are overreacting a little bit? Or some of these concerns, do you think they're really going to haunt the Steelers this season? Or do you think this team might have a chance to really gel here as it gets going?
I understand the concern, because I have concern, but I think that you're right. It's week one. They can take a turn for the better. They can tighten things up like they did. They showed at the end of that game that they can play better. And so that tells me that things are probably going to get better.
I hope so, man. I think so. AQ, Big Doug, Craig, Cousin Doug, what's up? He says Justin Fields looked great in that offense. All this money spent on our defense, and we are still getting gashed. How much of this defensive do you maybe lay at the feet of Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin in terms of schematics? I liked it. I'll say this, Sean. When I felt like the Steelers brought a pressure, brought some blitzing, brought some guys from different angles and things of that nature, I feel like they had some success. I feel like when they tried to lay back and just, try to get pressure with their front 3-4 guys that they got up there in that 3-4 defensive scheme, I feel like that's when they really get gashed. And I really like the way Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt played. I felt like that defensive front really lacked a guy like Derek Harmon. I think that that's going to be a solid addition when he does come back. But schematically, do you think the Steelers are still suffering there in maybe an ultra-conservative way that Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin call this defense? And do you think they should maybe mix in more of those exotic blitzes that we used to be accustomed to in the city of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think that they should definitely, put in some more exotic blitzes. But, at the same time, I feel like they did a pretty good job. I got to give credit to Justin Fields. He was getting rid of the ball really, he did not hold on to the ball. He wasn't taking sacks. If he wasn't making the throw, he was rolling out. He was getting positive yardage with his feet. I mean, the Steelers had their hands full today, and they did a pretty good job turning it around at the end of the game. But yes, they got to mix it up more. They got to get some more exotic blitzes.
Yeah, I don't know, Extra Black, how Loudermilk makes this team. I don't know how he does that. But Roman Wilson, Sean, non-existent in his real debut. Non-existent. But overall, I think the offense played really well. So let's get back. Let me catch up in the chat. And we're going to start with the offense. Since we've talked about the defense a little bit, we're going to break that down. Make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat. We appreciate that so much. We'll get caught up here. Should we be concerned on the run defense? We'll break all that down. My Floyd is pink here in a minute. They have been an insane amount of missed kicks today. Props to the Boss. Yeah, week one's tough, man. Isn't it awesome to have the best kicker in football? Yeah, it helps, baby. Devin Burkett, it was closer than anyone would like to see, but great start to the season and start to the run to Stairway to 7. Hoist up that sticky 7th Lombardi trophy this year. That'd be nice, man. I get it, man. Hey, another Wombat, you got to point out the issues, man. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. All right, guys, if I don't get your chat question, put it back in there. I will get to it eventually, and Sean and I will answer it. But let's continue. Let's break this down now, Sean. Do you have some of the stats brought up by chance on your computer for the offense?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go with, give us Aaron Rodgers' numbers here to start, what his numbers were for today, and then we'll go from there.
So today, Aaron Rodgers was 22 out of 30. He had 244 yards. He was averaging 8.1 yards per attempt. He had 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and let's see. His rating was a 136.7. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, for an old guy, I felt like Aaron Rodgers definitely was very efficient today, Sean. 22 of 30, 4 TDs, 0 interceptions. What did you think about the old man's performance here as we start to dive into the offense first? Overall, Aaron Rodgers, his performance in his Steelers debut, what would you have liked to see more of, and what do you think he did well?
I would like to see more of throwing the ball down the field. When you're going against a defensive line like the Jets, I don't want to see these little passes that are still behind the defensive line. You got to get it past that defensive line. I don't care if it's a 3-step drop, fire the ball with slants, outs, post. You got to get past that defensive line. I want to see more of that. Too many, dink and dunking with me. I don't like that. And I think Aaron Rodgers showed his IQ was super high. What I'd like to point out is that 12th man on the field late in the game looked like Aaron Rodgers was the only one that noticed, and he hurried that line up. He got the snap and got the call, and that was a huge play. That was on a 3rd down and that moved the chains for a 1st down. So that IQ is that's priceless to me.
Mm-hmm. And it's something the Steelers haven't had in so long. And again, the last time a Steelers quarterback threw 4 touchdown passes in a game was Big Ben Roethlisberger, and that was back in 2021. Here we sit, Sean, 2025, about to be 2026 before we know it. That is a long time ago since the Steelers had somebody that did that. So I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers did some really, really good things. I think still schematically the Steelers are still a little bit deficient. I like what you said. Move the ball down the field a little bit in terms of the pass and not try to throw those dink and dunks all the time. Now you need them in your offense, but you need to be a little bit better trying to move it down the field a little bit more. But I think that stems from the offensive line. So we'll give Aaron Rodgers a decent day, man. Definitely a welcome addition to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Overall, what would you grade this offensive line out as? Because what was their total rushing yards, or what the running backs have in terms of rushing yards?
So Jaylen Warren today, he only had 37 yards with 11 carries. He was averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Gainwell, he had 7 attempts, 19 yards, 2.7 average. And Aaron Rodgers, he scrambled once for a loss of 1. Caleb Johnson, it was negative 2 yards. So our run game is the big question mark right now of the offense. We have to find a way to turn that around.
Yeah, and then that promotes too, Sean, the passing down the field, being able to throw those intermediate to deep balls on a more consistent basis. But the formula to the win for the Pittsburgh Steelers is just this, and I believe it to be true for a lot of football teams, is to have Aaron Rodgers throwing 25 to 30 passes a game, completing a high percentage of those, but being able to run the football efficiently. And I think that that's how you fix this offensive line, is by running the football. And I know fans don't want to hear that, and they want the flashy, sexy type things. But running the football has to be the priority next week heading into week 2, Sean, in my opinion. I think it has to be something that the Steelers definitely put an emphasis on. You talk about Jaylen Warren, 30 yards, Gainwell, 19 yards, negative 2 for Caleb Johnson. Where were you the most disappointed with the running backs' performance? We know the offensive line needs a lot of work. They have to come together. That's a given. They got to fix that this week. They got to start to fix it anyway. And it's been an issue for a while. But when you talk about the running backs, what would you have liked to see more of with them? And what would you think that they did, or what do you think they did well? And, all that kind of jazz.
I would like to see more yards after contact. I don't want to see them hit the ground every time somebody puts a finger on them. If they can just go ahead and get a little bit more stiff arming in there, maybe the hit stick, truck somebody and gain another 2 or 3 yards after that. That's the kind of plays that gets the whole offense tuned in and ready and hyped up.
Fired up.
You got to fire them up with a good run game. And like you said, it opens up the passing game. But what I'm seeing here on the stat line is it's our main concern is our rushing attack and also stopping the rush from the opposing team, because we gave up 182 yards rushing today, our defense.
Wow. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. That's crazy in terms of rush yards. So, you run the ball efficiently, good things happen. And every Super Bowl winning type team, every good team in the National Football League is able to run the ball effectively, and they're able to not get gashed by the run. My concern is when you're facing a Derrick Henry, a Lamar Jackson, how is that going to translate? You brought that up during the game via text message, and that is what worries me. So we'll have to see how this all continues to gel. But would you have liked to see more of Jaylen Warren, or were you comfortable with the Kenneth Gainwell thing? And we understand Caleb Johnson is a rookie, and he's going to have to carve out his own niche when he gets some opportunities, which he didn't today. He didn't take advantage of those. But did you like the rotation at running back, or would you have liked to see a little bit of different rotation?
I want to see more from Jaylen Warren. That's our number one running back, and he's the number one for a reason. It was almost split 50-50 between Gainwell and Warren. But, between the two, actually between all of our rushing, we only had 53 rushing yards. New York only gave up 53 rushing yards today. That is such a slap to our face. So, to
the Steelers, 182.
Yeah, exactly. That was so lopsided. How we got that win, I don't know. I guess they have to put it on Aaron Rodgers making good decisions out there with the football.
And here's something else, Sean. Here's something that I think a lot of fans are overlooking right now, and maybe you and I both are overlooking this, and it just popped into my head. Even despite a performance like this defensively, to where you gave up 182 yards on the ground, you got gashed, you were giving up points, but yet you had the ability to still win the football game. Whether you want to call it lucky, I don't give a shit what you want to call it. They still got the W, and that's what matters in the National Football League. Game in and game out, usually it's close, Sean. It's just the way this league is. You'll get some blowout wins here and there, but the Steelers, they find themselves in a familiar situation, winning close games. And, oh well, if that's how you have to win, I'll take it. But it shows me something, that the Steelers are literally willing to die out there, and they go out and get it. And that's all you can ask for. They don't quit, and that's exactly what you wanted to see, especially in week 1. They could have easily got dog walk, Sean, giving up 182 yards on the ground. They couldn't stop the Jets at times for anything, and they could have easily fell behind like they did and not came back. They could have easily made 0 plays and just laid down and died, but they didn't. They didn't, Sean.
They didn't, and you know what? You're right. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win is a win. We're off to a good start. We're 1-0, and we did it on the road in New York in a hostile environment.
Amen. Daniel Warman says, hey, Sean. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Warman?
Good to see all of you guys again. Make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. Make sure you're sharing the show. We are always appreciative of that as you join us here on Mic Drop Sports for our live Pittsburgh Steelers post-game show as the Pittsburgh Steelers collect a nail-biter win in New Jersey against the Jets. My question is this, Sean. Are the Jets better than we thought? Is Justin Fields better than we thought? Or are the Steelers that bad?
The Jets are better than I thought. I can speak on my behalf. They are better than I thought they were going to be. I was expecting Justin Fields to go and fumble the ball at least once this game, but he actually took care of the ball. He made pretty good decisions out there, and he was getting rid of it quick. I gotta give props to Justin Fields, and we all knew he was good, but he just wasn't the right fit for Pittsburgh, and when it comes to Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith and the con man. They knew they saw something else with Aaron Rodgers. They're going with it, and you know what? I seen it today. We went out there on the first drive, on the first week 1, marched right down the field for 70 yards and punched one in. That's huge.
Amen, man. I thought the Jets were better than I gave them credit for. Despite injury to a key offensive lineman, they were able to slide over and adjust their center and their guards, and they were able to figure that shit out. Their run game was way better. Justin Fields adds a dynamic there. I feel like they're being way better in terms of the way they are coached. I feel like schematically they're far more sound. I feel like they definitely look like a vastly different football team than what the Steelers played last year when Aaron Rodgers was at the helm for the Jets. And I just think that they were in real turnover and turmoil. And I think Aaron Glenn has brought a good brand of football to the city, the state of New Jersey and the New Jersey Jets. So definitely I got to say that too. I think the Jets are better than we thought. I thought Justin Fields performed really, really well. I thought he played his guts out, but he didn't have enough. And I think that was a little bit of fuel and maybe a little bit of a reason why you saw such a good game. He wanted to win. He wanted to get that and stick it to the Steelers because they didn't want to pay him $45 million, $40 million, $30 million fully guaranteed. They didn't want to do that. They moved on. They went to an older option, and Aaron Rodgers is playing for basically peanuts. So, hey, there was some motivation there, so we'll see how it goes. Another Wombat says Calvin Austin was really impressive. I remember reading that dude was a hard worker, and you can tell. He has to be putting in work. He looks better every time he's out there. I thought he played really, really well, Sean. What do you think of Calvin Austin's performance? What do you have, 2 or 1 touchdown? I think he had 2. I think he had 2.
Guys. All right. Calvin Austin. He had 1 touchdown today.
Okay.
He had 70 yards on 4 receptions. He showed me that we do have a number 2 receiver. Everybody's saying, oh, Pittsburgh needs a number. Who's going to be the other receiver? His name's Calvin Austin.
Oh, yeah, and that one he got interfered with late in the game, Sean, if there's no pass interference on that play, he houses that motherfucker. He houses that bitch, and the Steelers go ahead.
He would have blown the top off that defense, and that quarterback knew it. That's why he was holding on to him.
That's what. Yeah, he had no choice. He had to do it, man. He had to do it, man. But definitely big time.
I got a question. I got some food for thought. Let's just say we didn't give up all those rushing yards, 182 rushing yards. What kind of quarterback would Justin Fields be then? If you're making him stay in the pocket and throw the ball, is he going to then be the old Justin Fields that we saw, in Chicago? Because he had a lot of help today on the ground, and, I don't know. I'm not going to be completely sold on Justin Fields is the answer, and they're going to be a playoff team. We don't know that yet. We
talking,
got gashed
Sean.
On defense. Okay, yeah, we got gashed on our defense, man. They were running the ball everywhere. And, man, I'm just saying, I'm not sold on Justin Fields yet. Let me go to the chat since Jason's gone. 9-8 incoming by Det. I really don't believe that. I don't think this is a 9-8 team. This is a playoff contending team. We got a good quarterback in there with a good head on his shoulders. I mean, it's like having the old Peyton Manning in there, the sheriff. He can go out there. He can read the defense. If there's a 12th man on the field, he's going to bust your ass on that just like he did. I'm impressed with Aaron Rodgers, and this is not going to be a 9-8 team. I see easily 10, 11, maybe even 12 wins.
I agree. I think they can win some games, man. I think Vegas might be wrong here, definitely. I pointed out something in the pregame show, Sean. I said look out for one certain player today that I thought they were going to play a key role in this football game, and sure as shit they did, and his name's Ben Skoranek, man. Let's go 15, baby, with a touchdown reception from Aaron Rodgers to start the game, and a big fumble recovery after Kenneth Gainwell knocks it loose on a punter kickoff, I can't recall, but it was a big momentum turning sequence of plays there, and Ben Skoranek at the center of it. I thought he played really, really well, man. I think Ben Skoranek's a rising star and can play that third, fourth wide receiver role and do some good things. What'd you think about 15 and his performance today?
I mean, he only had one chance today. They targeted him one time, and it was a 22-yard touchdown. That, to me, tells me he's ready to step up and make big plays.
Yeah, amen, man. Amen. He did it. 9-8 incoming. I was looking for that, what you read. Freiermuth is the number one tight end. He just doesn't do enough. And the Freiermuth as the number one tight end just doesn't do enough. He can't throw himself the ball. So that's, he was involved. He made some big catches. But the Steelers, too, Sean, have 3 tight ends that can play the number one tight end role, if you really, really think about it, in my eyes. And Aaron Rodgers loves them all. And go through the tight ends and let me know what their catches and yardage was. Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith. I know Darnell, I don't think he got targeted today.
He didn't. Pat Freiermuth was targeted 3 times for 28 yards, averaging 9.3 yards per catch. And his longest play was 11 yards. We had Jonnu Smith. He was targeted 5 times, more than Freiermuth. He only had 15 yards, though, averaging 3 yards per catch, and he had 1 touchdown. His long was a 6.
There you go.
There it is.
The Steelers did come out in a ton of 12-13 personnel again this season, and I can't say that I dislike it. Let's go to DK Metcalf, though. We know what the tight ends did. I think they played a very important role. The numbers weren't great, but Jonnu did score on that shuffle pass from Aaron Rodgers right down there in the goal inside the 5, and that was a big one. But DK Metcalf, Sean, what about him and his debut today? Did you like or dislike?
He was a monster. He had 4 receptions for 83 yards, averaging 20.8 yards per catch. No touchdowns, and his long play was a 31-yarder. He was targeted 7 times, though, but he had 4 receptions.
I thought he could have caught some of them tight window throws, but, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So I got to say, I think he's a beast. I think he's going to have a big year. Did the Browns win? The Browns' defense looks scary. They held the Bengals to 6 yards in the second half. I don't know if I'd ever use the word scary and Browns in the same sentence, but...
Let's see. I want to see if they won.
I don't know. I don't got any of the tickers up, guys. I'm relying on Sean. He got the computer going. So, yeah. Make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns in there. We truly appreciate it here on Mike Drop Sports. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Let's get to that 10,000 subscriber mark here this season. I think we can do that. We're about to hit 5,000, so let's share the show with all your friends. Bring everybody into the conversation. This is pretty much the only place that you're actually going to be included in the conversation. Most places you go and you talk to the wall. They're not going to answer you because they don't give a shit about what you got to say. But here at Mike Drop Sports, we give a shit about what you got to say, so make sure you come and join us each and every day. Go ahead, Sean.
17-16, Cincinnati wins. Browns missed a field goal with less than 2 minutes left.
Wow. Big, man. Big. AFC North is tough, I will say that. Realistically, the Steelers' floor is 7-8. The ceiling is 12-5. I can agree with D. That's probably accurate. But, Sean, the NFL season's wild and wonky, and to predict the NFL season's very, very difficult, man. I just think we should just enjoy the ride because we just don't truly know. It is what it is, man.
That was only week 1.
Yeah, and it's fun as fuck. AQ, Browns missed a field goal with under 2 minutes. That's crazy, man. Crazy. Sleeping lady in the house. Ramsey and Smith is looking like a great trade. Absolutely. I thought getting rid of Minka paid big dividends. Let's talk about that for a second, Sean. Minka Fitzpatrick in the offseason goes to the Miami Dolphins in a trade for Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey. What do you think about that trade now that we got to see week 1? Jalen Ramsey comes up with some big plays. Big plays. Jonnu Smith with a touchdown. What do you think of that trade right now as it sits in week 1?
I love that trade. I'm super happy they traded Minka away for those 2 players. Jonnu Smith comes up big. He was a Pro Bowl tight end last year. And then Jalen Ramsey, I just love the way he plays the game. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and he doesn't go out there and try to just pull you to the ground. He wants to run right through you and throw you to the ground. I love that kind of defensive mentality.
Hey, man, I love it. I thought they played vicious, man. I thought that they definitely wanted to hit, but I thought there was just a lot of missed tackles and things of that nature and just some fundamental things, man. But, I feel like they knocked the cobwebs off a little bit, too. We got to remember, 90% of the players that were playing out there, we haven't seen play a snap this summer. So it is what it is, man. I'll take it. I'll take a win and just roll with it. But hey, the Steelers, they win the game, man. Here we go. That's all you can say. Here we go. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns into the chat. We're going to continue to go down the list here. Let's move over to that defense. We talked about them at the top of the show, but major concerns defensively. We know the offense, the offensive line is what really, honestly, Sean, if the offensive line, let's just say this to finish up the offense before we move on to the defense. If the offensive line gels together and steps up, Sean, they will be a juggernaut. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all we need is our offensive line to click, gel, do whatever it takes, and provide some protection for Aaron Rodgers. Open up some holes for the running backs. If we do that, like we were saying, our main concern is the rushing game. Yeah, absolute juggernaut in the NFL, whether you like it or not.
And they don't have to be great. They just got to be average and good, and they will be massive. They scored 30 points with giving up tons of sacks, giving Aaron Rodgers no time, and literally still was able to score over 30 points. They scored what? 34, like I said. I didn't have the Jets score right, but 34, right? Is that what they scored?
34-32. Yep.
Yeah, I had the 34 right. I said the Steelers would win 34-10. I didn't think the Jets were that good, and boy, was I wrong. They were way better than I thought. So we got to give the Jets some credit too. They get paid to play football also. Let's move over defense. Yeah, we've kind of talked about that defense. It is what it is, Sean. Who do you think was the standout players for the Steelers defensively after watching that game? And who do you think maybe was the worst? Which 2 players can you put on those pedestals?
I really got to give it up for Deshaun Elliott was huge before he got hurt. He already had 5 solo tackles early in the game. And the best player that we have with the most solo tackles is Chuck Clark, number 21.
Yeah.
And he had 1 tackle for a loss. TJ Watt had 2 tackles for a loss. But you got to give it up for Alex Highsmith today. He had 5 solos, 1 sack. He was the only one with the sack, 1 for a loss. Highsmith goes to him.
Hey, man, no doubt. I like the way Alex Highsmith played. What about that TJ Watt hit in the backfield on the running back? He fucking drilled that dude, bro.
Oh, my God. He lit him up, dude. Didn't he light up Justin Fields, too, or was that the running back?
Yeah, they lit up Justin Fields really good. PQ, Patrick Queen, there at the end of the game, laid the lumber to Justin Fields there on the second to last play of the game. Knocked his jock strap into his mouth. So, yeah, I thought the Steelers hit hard when they made the contact, but overall, a lot of missed tackles. And, I'll agree with you, Alex Highsmith. I'm going to say the player that I didn't think played really, really well today, in my opinion, was just that defensive down lineman, those front guys. I thought as a whole, I thought maybe Y.A. Black played okay at times, not great. But, I thought they could have played way better, Sean. That's the group that I thought played poorly.
And I left out one stat on Highsmith, too. He had 3 quarterback hits today. The second best was Patrick Queen with 1. And Peyton Wilson had 1. So, Alex Highsmith, hands down, was bringing it today.
Absolutely. We got to stop the show. JD, thank you for the super chat. He says, here we go. Week 1 win. Absolutely. Thank you for being so generous here to us at Mike Drop Sports, my friend. We appreciate that very much. You get an extra. Definitely a thank you, my friend. Definitely. We appreciate that, JD, with coming in with a $50 super chat from JD. Truly, truly appreciated. Sleeping Lady says, Ramsey and Smith is looking like a great trade. Absolutely. You get a chance to watch the last 2 minutes of that Tampa-Atlanta game. No, man, I did not. We were playing audio roundtable here, trying to figure shit out on the live stream. D, can't believe it. The Broncos are letting Cam Ward and the Titans do this, and Mile High 3-3. Middle of the second, Bo fumbled. Well, hey, it's week 1, though. It's week 1, Sean.
It's week 1. Yeah, you're gonna get this, man. You gotta knock the cobwebs down. You gotta get out there and get all the gears oiled up. You gotta get out there and get the flow, the momentum going.
Absolutely, man. It is week 1, no doubt about it. My Floyd is Pink 79 says Chuck Clark looked good. Yeah, I thought he played really, really well too, man. I thought when he had to come in after Deshaun Elliott went down and you saw more Chuck Clark, I thought he played really, really well. I thought also Thornhill played okay for what he was asked to do. I thought also Eccles played really, really well. He came from the Jets this offseason, and I got to say, I thought he played really, really well for the Steelers when they needed it. So Eccles was a guy I'm going to give the nod to. Also, the presence of TJ Watt was definitely felt, and I thought that was big, and definitely needed that from TJ Watt after getting paid $40 million this offseason. So, hey, big. So let's move on to the special teams, Sean. And what do you think overall how the special teams performed today? Danny Smith-led units.
Well, the special teams won us the game today with that Boswell 60-yarder. That kind of speaks volumes to me. Let's see here. We got Caleb Johnson. He had 132 yards on special teams today with 26.4 averaging for one of them was a 29-yarder return. So, that's pretty good right there. Kenneth Gainwell, he had 33 yards for the
Forced
one
fumble.
So, yep. Oh, yeah. But, you know what? The special teams did good. From what I'm looking at, these numbers, this is good. I don't have any complaints with our special teams.
Me either, man. I thought they played really, really well. There was the one mistake where they had 7 lined up on one side or some shit, which I think is a dumb rule. I Yeah, I got to say, Chris Boswell deserves to get a blank check from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whatever that he wants, they should pay him. He wins games for the Steelers, and that's just simply put. He wins games, and I feel like the special teams as a whole wins games for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Danny Smith, Chris Boswell, Ben Skoranek, I feel like those guys were so valuable today. And it definitely got the Pittsburgh Steelers out of that stadium. No doubt about it, man. Just glad football's back. Looking forward to the Ravens' hopeful Super Bowl win. Flock sucks. Deet says the flock sucks. Man, that sucks, Deet. But anyway, overall, Sean, we're not going to be on here long. It's a post-game show. We're glad to have Sean back, no doubt about it. So it was definitely good to do this. But overall, Sean, your thoughts on week 1 and moving into week 2, what do you think? The Pittsburgh Steelers play again next week at 1 p.m. Who do they play? Do you know? I can't remember. I got to bring the schedule up here. But anyway, another 1 p.m. start. Next weekend, guys, I will say this while Sean's looking that up. I do have a youth football game. It is a travel game. We are going 2 hours away. So I will do something earlier in the morning ahead of the game, but I will be from a remote location about 2 hours from my house. I will do a pregame show, and we'll see, depending on what time I get back later in the evening. I will do a postgame show later in the evening. But next week is our one faraway travel game, and we are probably going to go stay on Saturday night. So just to caution you there. Go ahead, Sean.
We're playing the Seattle Seahawks for week 2, everybody.
At Acrisure Stadium, and that's a DK Metcalf revenge game. So, yeah, the scheduler makers, they knew what they were doing this year, didn't they?
Oh, they sure did. And what a game today. My God. Just to let everybody know, like, my blood pressure was through the roof. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. It was a nail biter. And what I want to see next week is me kicking back on my recliner, not sweating, and enjoying another W.
Amen, baby. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Dub, baby. We need that dub. Yes. But yeah, overall, Sean, week 1, your general consensus here to close up. What'd you feel about this game, just generally, to end this thing out?
Generally speaking, we're all going through the first week with a win. We started off the game with a touchdown, a 70-yard drive. Our defense showed up at the end of the game and came in clutch when we needed them the most. I am super happy with our week 1. This is we got the foot in the right direction. We're walking in the right direction. We're moving forward. And you know what? That's all I can ask for.
Amen. And that's exactly, I agree with Sean. You took a step in the right direction. Yeah, are there issues? Absolutely. This is the NFL. Every team is good. Every game usually is tight. It's just the way it goes. You're always going to have some issues. No game's ever going to be perfect. But the Steelers showed fight. They showed resolve. They showed the want to get things done. They battled for each other. And that isn't something that you can coach, not something that you can teach. That is something that has to come from the group, that has to come from the players. And I got to say, I'm proud of how they handled this and how they pushed forward and got things done. And it was a complete team win where, there was lacking issues. The others picked it up. So it is what it is. And I definitely think the Pittsburgh Steelers took a step in the right direction. And I look for big things. And hopefully this offensive line and defensive front can figure this shit out, because those were the weak links, man. Those were the weak links. No doubt about it.
And let's hope that the Bills show up tonight and put a spanking on those Ravens to start this season off. That will be the cherry on top for today, if we can see that.
We'll take the Bengals and the Steelers in the division 1-0, and we'll take the Browns and the Ravens, both shitty teams, and put them in the basement.
Oh, that would be great. Hey, I mean, look, the Kansas City Chiefs fell week 1. I mean, it can happen to anybody. These are supposed to be the juggernaut teams. So, hey, we're on the right track in Pittsburgh, guys.
Hey, if Dak Prescott can almost beat the Eagles, come on. I mean, anything can happen, baby.
That's right. Oh boy, did George Pickens show up and show out, huh?
Oh boy, man, he is a fucking ball of fire, baby. Ball of fucking fire, no doubt about it. Hey, for everybody that said, DK Metcalf, that was the wrong decision. We should have kept George Pickens too. I'll take DK every fucking step of the way. At least he ain't. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll take the exchange, no doubt.
Oh yeah,
no
DK's
doubt.
an absolute unit. Thank you very much, Seattle.
No doubt. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Yeah, and that's it, man. And Sean and I will catch you on the next one, man. So until next time, I'm Jason. That's Sean. This is Mike Drop Sports. See you guys on the next one.
Power takes an approach as a coach. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
a guy that rolls his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.